Good morning, students. This is Seth Vidya Mandir, English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce. This is the HSC Online Audio Video Lecture Series, and I'm Bina Raikar, your OC teacher. And I'm starting with chapter number 7, that is Consumer Protection. And today I'm going to explain the importance of consumer protection. Students, what exactly do you mean by consumer? Okay, consumer is derived from the Latin word consumere, which means to eat or to drink. A consumer is a one who consumes or uses any commodity or services available from natural resources or through a market. Consumer means any person who buys any goods, hires any service or services for a consideration which has to be paid or promised or partly paid or partly promised or under any deferred payments. But deferred payments, students, you mean by payments which are done in future. Those are called as deferred payments. Now, students, who are consumers? Consumers are we all citizens, okay, of all over the world who use commodities like milk, bread, your pulses, your grains, your cold drinks. Similarly, we use services like banking, communication, telephone, post office, hospitals, schools. Okay, so that is the reason we are called as consumers, because we consume, we buy any services or we buy any products. So that is the reason we are consumers. Now, students, why do we need consumer protection? It is very important. See, students, in the world of today, no one is self-sufficient, right? So we all depend on manufacturers and sellers to satisfy our needs. So we become consumers of various products and services. Now, what happens is growing size and complexity of production and distribution systems, high level of sophistication in selling techniques, and different forms of advertising confuses consumers. Powerful manufacturers and sellers can easily exploit consumers. Okay, so it becomes very necessary to have some machinery to ensure lower prices, better choice, and access to essential goods and services. Even though in the modern competitive market, consumer is regarded as a king, but in reality, he gets exploited by manufacturers and sellers. They are in superior position than consumers. So consumers need to be protected. Consumer protection means safeguard the interest of the consumers and allowing him to exercise his rights. Protection of the interest of consumers with the help of various laws in the recent development. Okay, students? So that is the reason we need Consumer Protection Acts. Okay. Now, Arthashastra of Kautilya details the practices in the modern state where it was a duty of the superintendents to put government products in the market under favorable conditions and to supervise these sales at reasonable rates. Merchants who cheated or interfered generally with the normal functioning were openly punished. Okay, now in today's world we have organizations, that is we have consumer protection administration organizations, okay, working for the protection of consumer rights. Now students, let's see as to why, okay, why is the need of consumer protection. The first is because we require the participation of consumers. Second, lack of information. Third, ignorance of consumers. Fourth, consumers are unorganized. Spurious goods, misleading advertising, malpractices of businessmen, trusteeship. So these are the reasons why consumer protection is required. Now let's see the first one. The first one is need of participation of consumers. It is observed that certain decisions which directly affect consumers' interests are taken without any consultation with consumers or their organizations. For example, charges of daily necessities such as public transport, cooking gas, telephone, electricity, etc. Only a strong consumer movement can pressurize various organizations to allow consumer participation in the decision making process. Okay, so here I have put these organizations as you have the egg mark, you have the FPO, you have the ISI marks. Okay, so these are organizations which see to that the consumers' rights are protected. The second one is lack of information. Today's consumers live in a complex world. So distance between producers and consumer is very vast. It is impossible to establish direct contact between producer and consumer. After globalization and liberalization, policy of the government, that is the market, is full of domestic as well as imported products. But it is difficult for the consumer to get reliable information about the products before it is purchased. He relies on commercials of the products, then on the trial and error methods. Okay, he see the information in the newspapers, he sees information in the advertisement, and then he has to decide whether he is going to purchase the products or he is not going to purchase. So the chances of exploitation is very high because he does not have information about the product. Let's go for the third one. The third one is ignorance. Students' ignorance on part of the consumer. Okay, it is consumers, they are ignorant about their rights, about the market conditions, the price level, then the product details, etc., which results in the consumer exploitation. Many times consumers do not even realize that they are being cheated. For example, a shopkeeper may sell a product which is actually received by him as a free sample, okay, as free gifts offered by a company. But what happens is that free gift is not given to the consumer by the shopkeeper, and the consumer is very ignorant about the fact that certain things are as free gift. Similarly, the shopkeeper may even charge price for where it is written as free sample. This is because they have been exploited because of the ignorance of the consumer. The next one is unorganized consumers. Unorganized consumers is consumers don't come together. They are neither organized nor united. Compared to them, the producers and sellers are in a superior position. That is, they are very well connected to each other. Okay, they are interconnected. They are organized. And an individual consumer cannot fight against powerful traders. Okay, and the consumers come into the influence of businessmen. Okay, if there's a sale, okay, all of us go over there. So we are consumers, we are influenced by such tactics of salesmen. Thus it is easy to exploit unorganized and widely spread consumers. Next one is spurious goods. Now these are duplicate products. Okay, that is products which have the same, which may have the same label, but there's a slight difference in the labels which common consumers cannot understand that it is a duplicate product and it's been sold. Similarly, medicines are sold, fake medicines are sold which have no results, but the packing is the same. So this is very, very dangerous. Misleading advertising. Okay, all of us see advertisements, we hear advertisements. Advertisements are on the TV, on the radio, in the newspapers, and we get easily misled by that. Okay, but some like but some organizations, we had a campaign called as Jago Grahak Jago. Okay, to help the consumers understand which are misleading advertisement, so that they can understand and they don't buy products, they don't waste their money. So this is a, I'm just puts up, you normally have burgers, right? The photograph in the burger is so good, so tasty, but the actual one when you purchase, you find that is a simple burger, it is not that which is shown in that photograph. So that is called as a misleading advertisement. The seventh one is the malpractices of businessmen. Okay, unethical, fraudulent, monopolistic trade practices. These are all things by which the businessmen exploit the consumers. Okay, many times what happens is under a nice packing we get defective, inferior, substandard goods. Okay, similarly services are being highly charged, and we have the impression that if the services are charged properly, they are high paid, it means we'll get good services, but it is not always so. So it is a tactic of the businessman. So certain measures are required to protect this consumers against such malpractices. Okay. And the eighth one is the trusteeship. That is, according to Gandhian philosophy, businessmen are trustees of society wealth. Therefore, they should use this wealth for the benefit of the people. Okay, according to Gandhian's law, according to Gandhi's philosophy, that the businessmen are trustees, and so what happens is he should give some of his profit to the society. It is his what to say, consciously he should give some of the uh, profit that he gets to the society. Why? Because commercial organizations operate within society, they are a part of society. Okay, so it is the organization, okay, they should believe that since the society has given them whatever is required, it is on their part that they have to serve. That is, a business should be held in trust, okay, legally and morally, for the benefit of the consumers. Okay, for students, these are the 8 reasons as to why there's a need for consumer protection. I'll repeat all the 8 needs. The first need is participation of consumers. Okay, they don't participate. Consumers are not allowed to participate in decision making. They should be allowed. The second is lack of information. Consumer does not have information about the product that they're going to purchase. They're ignorant. Okay, they don't know the tactics of the businessmen. They are unorganized. If they come united, they can help each other, but they don't come united, they don't come together. Whereas the salesmen, with the sales, that is the manufacturers and the businessmen, they are all interconnected to each other, they are together. Then goods which are sold as duplicate products. Okay, advertisement, many of the advertisement are misleading and malpractices of businessmen. And the last one is Gandhian philosophy of trusteeship. These are the 8 needs of consumer protection. Okay, students, I hope you have understood this. Thank you.